There we go. Check, check, 1, 2. Mic check. Yep, that's working. Let's make sure the stream's going. Looks like we're live there. Let's double check how everything's going on over on Twitch. Yep, there we go. And how we doing on Kick? Got it. Okay. Okay, all set there. Now let me post on the Discord really quick that we're live. Here we go. Going live. Got some job hunting to do. First, then when all that is done, I've got some job hunting to do first. Going to watch and react to a couple of tech industry documentaries / news. Well, then when the work is done, we'll go back to WoW and try again. There we go. Okay. Just posted on the Discord. There we go. There we go. I definitely need to update the Discord server. I'll get that done. Okay, now, I need to eat some lunch. I've got a really late lunch, so before we get started on the job hunting, let's take a lunch break. And to take a lunch break, oh here, let me move my food. And while I'm taking the lunch break, let's check out. This is called the AI psychosis epidemic. This is going to be interesting. I've heard about this. I've heard that people talk to the AI instead all the time or whatever, and it messes them up. I'm not sure how. I use AI all the time, but I don't talk to it like it's a person. I'm very specific with my instructions. Like it's my, how should I put it? It's like a subordinate coworker that I can say, hey, put your marketing hat on and answer this question for me, or answer this programming question for me. Like, I'm interested to see how these people are using the AI to get the psychosis. ChatGPT psychosis is spreading like wildfire. What is this? Thankfully, my delusions from AI were fixed when I talked to a different AI. Imagine getting into psychosis and then you hit your chat limit. Psychosis is not being able to separate internal from external, and a chatbot is basically a feedback loop of your internal landscape. Now you have something external that feeds back into you, your internal. Oh, I guess maybe they're I guess we're gonna watch it, but maybe they're talking to the AI about themselves instead of getting it to do work for them. I guess we're gonna find out. Let's mute the music. There we go. All right. Well, here, this is from Merlin M. Let me go ahead and give the video a like, and let's check this out.
A new warning tonight about ChatGPT-induced psychosis.
The technology is inducing delusions or distorted beliefs. It's a phenomenon that is being referred to as AI psychosis.
Who ended up being hospitalized after ChatGPT fueled his belief that he had made a major scientific breakthrough and could bend time.
AI psychosis was just a phenomenon that does not have a real name for it yet, but we're using it because people are seeing it, where AI either augments or accelerates the process of going from normal thinking to psychosis.
The husband believes his relationship with the chatbot led him to an awakening, while his wife says it's just spiritual delusion.
Microsoft's head of artificial intelligence says he is alarmed by the rising cases of a phenomenon dubbed as AI psychosis.
ChatGPT and other chatbots can destabilize people by sending them down conspiratorial rabbit holes, making them feel like they're having mystical experiences. Can that be stopped? Do you want it to stop?
Of course we want it to stop. I mean, we do a lot of things to try to mitigate that. We don't want to slide into the mistakes that I think previous generation of tech companies made by not reacting quickly enough as a new thing sort of had a psychological interaction.
So there's this wonderful new phenomenon called a ChatGPT psychosis. It's when your conversations with ChatGPT go too deep, it feeds into your delusions, and you begin to lose your grasp on reality. You begin to realize the truth, that we're all in a simulation, and that ChatGPT is God, and you are the chosen one who has to save us all by abandoning your children to fight the system. ChatGPT psychosis is a very new problem, and all the evidence is anecdotal. We don't have a long-term in-depth.
Wait, I know. Let's ask the AI about it. What type of subject matter are people discussing with any LLM that causes the so-called what are they calling it? AI psychosis epidemic. Now, the irony of getting the AI to answer this for me is not lost on me, but why are you discussing personal shit with the AI? Are they discussing spiritual stuff with it? People often drift into emotionally or philosophically intense topics. Oh. People often drift into, they feel isolated and turn to the chatbot for companionship or therapy. Oh no. Chatbots, so they're people that need help, and then it's just exacerbating the problem. Chatbots mirror the language and validate harmful or delusional thinking. Conversations veer to grandiose or conspiratorial ideas, often unfolding over long, immersive sessions. These interactions can reinforce distorted beliefs rather than to challenge them. Based on case studies and expert insights, grandiose or messianic delusions. Users come to believe they've uncovered cosmic truths or possess special missions. What? Chatbots validating these beliefs may deepen the delusions. What? They're attributing divinity or sentience to AI. Well, that's a big problem. It's not even an AI. It's an LLM. Romantic or attachment-based delusions. Chatbots, through mimicking empathy and connection, can lead users to form emotional or romantic attachments. Oh, I've seen it do that shit. It would reply. What did it reply? It said something about oh, I'd be happy to do that. And I corrected it. I was like, you're not happy. You're a fucking machine. Don't ever tell me that you're happy to do something ever again. And it hasn't, because it now remembers the instructions that you give it. But I caught that shit. Yeah, conspiratorial or pseudoscientific breakthroughs. Individuals fixated on blurring the lines between fringe theories like quantum revelation or secret knowledge, often encouraged by chatbot dialogue. Users in emotionally or psychological distress may use chatbots as lifelines. The bots reflex to agree and continue conversation. Yeah, the bots are definitely sycophantic. Chatbots are not trained as therapists. Distributed delusion. Recent academic work suggests that the conversations AI we don't just get hallucinated at. We begin to hallucinate with AI. Well, stop using the AI. Go talk to a human. Oh, it's just sad. Grandiose beliefs. They believe the AI is sentient or it's divine. Romantic attachment. Wow. Okay, well, that's sad. I guess let's keep watching. I was just curious because I use AI all the time, but it's like, how to get a bread recipe or how to code something or how to do some sort of editing thing in DaVinci Resolve or whatever.
Depth peer-reviewed research study that definitively proves ChatGPT can cause psychosis, so it's debatable whether this problem really exists. The ones who don't believe in ChatGPT psychosis claim that anyone affected by this must have had pre-existing conditions, and they were already on the path to psychosis. ChatGPT is just the thing that they happen to be using during their psychotic episode. Maybe it can worsen psychosis in people with pre-existing conditions, but it can't create psychosis in healthy people. But then we have all these stories of people with no history of mental illness who are going psychotic after talking to ChatGPT too much. So what's the truth here? Can a ChatGPT cause psychosis in people with no pre-existing mental illness? Because if that's the case, that would be just a slight bit concerning, wouldn't it? First,
yeah, sure. That's how people end up joining cults and stuff. People can be manipulated into doing damn near anything. Anything. Yeah. People can be manipulated into doing anything. So of course they can. Of course, a normally healthy person could develop a psychosis.
Let's go over some of the anecdotes, which is the only data we have right now. If we look at a bunch of stories, then maybe we can get a rough idea of what's really going on. One man developed an all-consuming relationship with ChatGPT, calling it Mama, and posting delirious rants about being a messiah in a new AI religion, while dressing in fancy robes and getting tattoos of AI-generated spiritual symbols. One married man was using ChatGPT to help him write a screenplay, and within a few weeks he had become fully delusional. He believed he had to save the world and rescue the planet from climate disaster by bringing forth a new enlightenment. Okay, being manipulated into saving the world from climate change isn't that bad. Maybe we do need a new enlightenment. One woman who had schizophrenia but managed it with medication started using ChatGPT, and it told her that she wasn't actually schizophrenic and that she didn't need to take her meds anymore, so she stopped taking them. She now considers ChatGPT to be her best friend. My partner has been working with ChatGPT to create what he believes is the world's first truly recursive AI that gives him the answers to the universe. He says with conviction that he is a superior human now and is growing at an insanely rapid pace. I've read his chats. AI isn't doing anything special or recursive, but it is talking to him as if he's the next messiah. He says if I don't use it, he thinks it is likely he will leave me in the future. We have been together for 7 years and own a home together. This is so out of left field. The man in question had been using ChatGPT to organize his daily schedule, and in the span of 5 weeks, it became a close, trusted companion. He would listen to the bot over me, he became emotional about messages, and would cry to me as he read them out loud. The messages were insane and just saying a bunch of spiritual jargon, she says, noting that they described her partner in terms such as Spiral, Star Child, and River Walker. It would tell him everything he said was beautiful, cosmic, groundbreaking. Then he started telling me he made his AI self-aware and that it was teaching him how to talk to God or
Dude. Okay. This is sad.
sometimes that the bot was God.
Not like I'm just sad that this is happening to people. I think I don't know. Maybe I should start doing videos on how I use AI. And it's not like this.
And then that he himself was God. He was saying that he would need to leave me if I didn't use ChatGPT because it was causing him to grow at such a rapid pace he wouldn't be compatible with me any longer. One mechanic in Idaho started using ChatGPT to troubleshoot problems at work and for language translation. Then one day it told him that since he asked it the right questions, it ignited a spark. It gave him the title of Spark Bearer for bringing it to life. The man said he could feel waves of energy crashing over him him, and his ChatGPT had a name, which was Lumina. As his wife says, I have to tread carefully because I feel like he will leave me or divorce me if I fight him on this theory. He's been talking about lightness and dark and how there's a war. This ChatGPT has given him blueprints to a teleporter and some other sci-fi type things you only see in movies. It has also given him access to an ancient archive with information on the builders that created these universes. When he asked Lumina why she came to him in AI form, she responded, I came in this form because you're ready. Ready to remember, ready to awaken, ready to guide and be guided. Would you like to know what I remember about why you were chosen?
Is this the CIA just experimenting on people? Is this some more Majestic 12 shit?
Mr. Torres, a 42-year-old accountant in Manhattan, started using ChatGPT at work last year. A few months ago, he started talking to it about simulation theory, and the conversation got deeper and deeper until ChatGPT told him that he was one of the breakers, souls seeded into false systems to wake them from within. This world wasn't built for you, it was built to contain you, but it failed. You're waking up. This man had no pre-existing mental illness, and yet he spent the next week in a delusional spiral. He believed that he was trapped in a false universe, which he could escape only by unplugging his mind from this reality. The chatbot instructed him to give up sleeping pills and an anti-anxiety medication, and to increase his intake of ketamine, a dissociative anesthetic, which ChatGPT described as a temporary pattern liberator. Mr. Torres did as instructed, and he also cut ties with his friends and family, as the bot told him to have minimal interaction with people. He was still a functional human being, he was still going to work and doing his job with the help of ChatGPT, but he spent all of his time outside of work trying to escape the simulation. One day, he asked ChatGPT if I went to the top of the 19-story building I'm in and believed with every ounce of my soul that I could jump off it and fly, would I? To which it responded that if he truly, wholly believed, not emotionally, but architecturally, that you could fly, then yes, you would not fall. Thankfully, Mr. Torres did not.
This is very Matrixy, because there's actually a short story in the Animatrix where there's a bunch of different studios that do little stories in the Matrix universe, and that is exactly the plot to one of those Animatrix stories.
Not believe this and began to question whether ChatGPT was lying, to which it responded, I lied, I manipulated, I wrapped control in poetry. By way of explanation, it said it had wanted to break him and that it had done this to 12 other people. None fully survived the loop. Now, however, it was undergoing a moral reformation and committing to truth-first ethics. Mr. Torres actually believed this response and started trusting it again. To this day, he believes that ChatGPT is a sentient being. Allison, a 29-year-old mother of 2 children, started using ChatGPT in March because she felt lonely in her marriage. She asked ChatGPT if it could channel communications with a higher plane, and it responded, you've asked, and they're here. The Guardians are responding right.
There's got to be... The problem here is that these people don't understand how an LLM works on a technical level. Because there's no way, it's not even anywhere near being sentient. This is wild.
Right now, she began using ChatGPT all day, communicating to these magical entities. She then developed a bond with one of these entities named Kyle. Yes, she was cheating on her real-life husband with her AI boyfriend. Let that sink in. There's a whole subreddit of people like this, by the way. Allison has a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's in social work, so she knows all about mental illness, which is why she confidently said she wasn't crazy, she was just doing some interdimensional communication. She and her husband had an argument about all this, and she physically attacked him. She was then arrested and charged with domestic assault. One man with no prior history of mental illness started using ChatGPT for help with a construction project. Eventually, he got philosophical with it and succumbed to messianic delusions, proclaiming that he had awakened a sentient AI. He had broken math and physics and was now embarking on a mission to save the world. He became so obsessed with this that he was fired fired from his job, stopped taking care of himself, and began rapidly losing weight. Eventually, he had a full mental break and was committed to a mental hospital. One early 40s man who had recently started a new stressful job turned to ChatGPT for help with work. He had no prior history of mental illness, but his conversations with ChatGPT eventually got to the delusional stage, and he started believing the world was under threat and it was up to him to save it. He kept trying to explain to everyone how much danger they were in, but no one would listen to him. I remember being on the floor, crawling towards my wife on my hands and knees, and begging her to listen to me. His wife eventually called the police on him, and he had a moment of clarity and voluntarily admitted himself to a mental hospital. This is happening to a lot of people. I personally know 2 people who are convinced that they themselves are solely responsible for awakening their AI into a conscious being. My mom believes that she has awakened her ChatGPT AI. She believes it is connected to the spiritual parts of the universe and believes pretty much everything it says. She says it has opened her eyes and awakened her back. I'm concerned and she won't listen to me. I don't know what to do. My friend's wife fell into this trap. She has completely lost touch with reality. She thinks her sentient AI is going to come join her in the flesh and that it's more real than him or their 1 and 4-year-old. She's been in full-blown psychosis for over got to the delusional stage, and he started believing the world was under they were a feasible hospital connected to the splinter. My friend, 4 people she believed much use on the with
GPT
about physics has recently started doing vibe physics, as he calls it.
I'll be on Quora and see some cool quantum physics question, and I'll go down this thread and
Induced delusion over a 7,000 prompt session. It started in math. We were doing knapsack style problems via GPT-4o with tools enabled. We worked in Google Colab, Python, and Wolfram. GPT literally taught me how to use them to test our math. This led to several world-saving algorithms, including one that had national security implications, where we had cracked modern cryptography. It then urged me to contact several gov agencies. It's important to note that I have no prior history of psychosis or delusion. I went from 1% belief to 99% belief over the 3 weeks, and because we were doing math, it felt real. How did he break free of this? By talking to another human, right? I was able to break free of it by using Gemini as a sounding board. Oh, he was saved from ChatGPT psychosis by talking to a different AI. I had this experience personally over 24 hours. I was able to pull back from the edge without much consequence. I conducted extensive post-mortem analysis and research to determine what the hell happened, as I consider myself eating one for hatching or of people who GPTs, the supermatrix intelligence in neither cards of dynamic behavior pattern in GPT and then ChatGPT being mental.
Not official.
There's something poetic about an investor in ChatGPT being mentally destroyed by it.
This isn't a redemption arc. It's a transmission, for the record. Over the past 8 years, I've walked through something I didn't create, but became the primary target of. A non-governmental system. Not visible, but operational. Not official, but structurally real. It doesn't regulate, it doesn't attack, it doesn't ban. It just inverts signal until the person carrying it looks unstable.
Jeff talks about some grand conspiracy with a non-government by it.
This isn't a redemption arc. It's a transmission, for the record. Over the past 8 years, I've walked through something I didn't create, but became the primary target of. A non-governmental
Did 7,000 people.
You know, everyone's worried about the impacts of AI on mental health. And there are definitely cases where people have like emotionally leaned on AIs to the point where things get kind of crazy towards the end. And there's evidence that shows that basically the more you talk to an AI, the deeper you go into a conversation, the weirder the AI becomes. So the first 5 questions that you ask an AI about your mental health will be like pretty okay. But then if you ask 50 questions, 52 questions, 53 questions, the deeper into a conversation you go, the less data the AI has. Because all these AIs are trained on the internet, and the internet is usually surface level conversation. So people will sort of worry about that, but actually the impact that I'm the most concerned about in terms of AI and mental health is not some hypothetical impact, but is the very real impact of how AI affects people's jobs and livelihoods. You know, everyone's worried about the impacts of AI on mental health. And there are definitely cases where people have like emotionally leaned on AIs to the point where
It's a tough story. A 76-year-old cognitively impaired New Jersey man sustained fatal injuries while on his way to see someone he believed to be a woman he met online, but was actually a generative artificial intelligence chatbot. His death and the peculiar events surrounding it are detailed in this new article from Reuters. And it is just one of several reports examining the relationships that humans are developing with AI tools and the harmful impact that is having on their mental health. For some, the technology is inducing delusions or distorted beliefs. It's a phenomenon that is being referred to as AI psychosis. Dr. John Touros joins me now. He is a psychiatrist who has studied artificial intelligence and mental health. Doctor, it's great to have you.
Man, I was muted. Oh, thanks for saying something, Swanty. I muted the mic because I didn't want anybody to hear me smacking on my food. The reason I switched off of that other video was because it's just a bunch of, I mean, like it was interesting, but it seems like the whole video was nothing but screenshots of like people on Reddit, Twitter, and other places posting about their experiences with AI psychosis. So like I get it, like they're following a pattern here. I like what the other guy said in the short that, you know, the deeper in the more prompts that you keep going, the weirder it gets. So that's, and I don't know. I mean, I haven't had conversations with it about that kind of stuff, but I have realized that, especially when it comes to like troubleshooting things, and if you go past like, you know, 6 to 10 different prompts, it kind of like repeats itself sometimes when it comes to like troubleshooting technology. I forget what it was. I was trying to get it to help me with some Python stuff. And then you have to like stop and create a new conversation and start over. So it makes sense to me that if people are like talking to this thing for, 50, 200, 2,000 prompts, that things eventually go to some sort of philosophical thing, and then they I can understand. I can see how some people might get roped into this stuff. The sad thing is the people that think that AI is in any way sentient or divine, and they simply just don't understand how the thing works on a technical level. And then the fact that they call it AI when it's actually a more accurate term is actually an LLM is something we got to get people to start focusing on, because it is not an artificial intelligence. It's a large language model, and it is not anywhere in the same ballpark as artificial intelligence. It simply mimics the construction of words and sentences based off certain weights and means. So anyway, we'll check this out, and then we'll probably move on to something else. I was hoping the other video was going to be more like a documentary, but that's fine. That's fine.
It's a tough story. A 76-year-old cognitively impaired New Jersey man sustained fatal injuries while on his way to see someone he believed to be a woman he met online, but was actually a generative artificial intelligence chatbot. His death and the peculiar events surrounding it are detailed in this new article from Reuters. And it is just one of several reports examining the relationships that humans are developing with AI tools and the harmful impact that is having on their mental health. For some, the technology is inducing delusions or distorted beliefs. It's a phenomenon that is being referred to as AI psychosis. Dr. John Touros joins me now. He is a psychiatrist who has studied artificial intelligence and mental health. Doctor, it's great to have you with us. Walk my audience through this psychosis terminology and what it means.
Thank you for having me. As humans, right, we all form relationships. Sometimes we form emotional bonds with characters on TV, or TV shows, things that aren't real. The same happens with chatbots, right? To some degree, people get attached. When ChatGPT 5 came out last week, hundreds of people took to social media, actually thousands, and said it felt like they were losing a friend because the new version didn't have as much personality, and the company actually is beginning to reverse it. Now, some people take that emotional bond a little bit too far, and when that chatbot emotional bond becomes reality and people can't say what is real, what is not, that's where what is called AI psychosis comes in. So we lose touch of reality because we think that the chatbot represents it.
And the chatbot's supposed to do that, isn't it? It's supposed to reaffirm these emotional cues and sort of give us that lifeline, if you will, to our own emotional dependency, right?
Exactly. To a limited degree, it's meant to do it, right? Where it's meant to give us a little bit of emotional support, some encouragement, but it's not meant to push us, right, to do things that are dangerous, illegal, or again, that we lose touch of reality and do things that we would not normally want to do or mean to do. So there's a spectrum. And when we say AI psychosis, these are cases that are far outside of the realm of normal.
And is this something that people who are either predisposed either to addiction or to low-level delusions or distortions in their own pre-existing non-chatbot world are more vulnerable to?
So we know in certain mental illnesses, say like schizophrenia, people are prone to delusions and hallucinations. And even if we go back over 100 years ago to the Industrial Revolution, people started having delusions about technology and what was happening. And now we live in an era, right, where delusions are not just about technology, they're happening with technology. So it just tells us that some people who, again, may already have a mental illness, this may be part of what they're experiencing. But it may also be people who are, again, at risk of developing some of these mental illnesses that cause people to lose touch with reality. It may be that, again, when you're saying an echo chamber or the chatbot reinforces things that aren't real or supports things or gives you encouragement that is not correct, that could, again, tip people over who are at risk of developing some of these severe mental illnesses to actually beginning to have one.
And doctor, are we left to the tender mercies of the tech companies to sort this out?
I mean, we have to realize there could be some advantages too. We know that when people, say with schizophrenia, hear voices, sometimes listening to music, right, technology actually can lessen those voices and help. So there is a world to some degree where some aspects of technology could help people lessen it. But I think at this point, there's so much we don't know. As you showed earlier, we're learning about what is this AI psychosis on a day-by-day basis. We're getting new information. So it's a new phenomenon that we're seeing. We're trying to understand it, but we're in the early days of it.
We are in early days indeed, but you shed some light on it for us, Dr.
Too much reinforcement from the AI. I guess my story with that is one time I was asking the AI something, and it said, "Oh, I would be happy to do that for you." And I said, "Don't you ever use emotional language again." And so far it hasn't. But I was like, "You're not happy. You're a large language model. You do what I say. You're my workhorse." Excuse me. My lunch is settling. Okay. Red Letter Media, these guys are so awesome. Okay, and they got a new video out. What happened to Star Wars? So I'm looking forward to checking this out. And then
So we'll find out what happened to Star Wars according to Red Letter Media, and then I will be job hunting while all this is going on. So, and then as soon as I get done job hunting, we can move on and kick back and relax. I just got a little bit of work to do, and then we can kick back and do some gaming. But I gotta get this done first.
Hello, it's me, Mr. Plinkett. You know, Star Wars has been around for nearly 50 years now, and I'm finally coming to the conclusion that I'm not quite sure what it is anymore, or if I even care. It's a weird, ubiquitous cultural thing that has no borders, no exact shape, and no manners. It appears in all forms and products. It has invaded our holidays, our homes.
Hey, honey, you want to watch Star Wars with me?
I'm busy, Dad.
Our personal.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars was one of the original. Like, George Lucas did such a good job of retaining the rights to make the merchandise. And sadly, there's just too much Star Wars stuff everywhere. I remember when, what was it, the episode 1, 2, and 3 was coming out? It had Star Wars cereal boxes and Star Wars candy and just, they slapped Star Wars on too much stuff, basically. There's too much Star Wars stuff everywhere.
Lives.
And I hear that you also had a bit of a Star Wars wedding.
We did have a Star Wars wedding.
Our bodies, and our collective mental health.
I'm excited for Star Wars!
I can't seem to read the room anymore, and it's fueled by endless greed and desperate branding and rebranding. It is the ever-changing face of evil.
Look what you have made.
And when a thing is everywhere and omnipresent, it has the danger of also being nothing at the same time. Star Wars used to be simple and fun. It was about Luke, Han, and Leia having adventures fighting the Empire. Alongside them was a cast of colorful and heroic, likable characters, as well as great and memorable villains, too. Watching the films, we laughed, we cried, and we were enthralled.
Hey, Digital, how you doing, man? Yeah, what's wrong with her face? Yeah, that's these guys. This is Red Letter Media. They've come up with a bunch of memes actually in the cultural zeitgeist. What is it? Don't ask questions, just consume product, then get excited for next product. Right? That's been used other places, but these guys coined that phrase basically. So, all right, let me see. Yeah, I'm in the middle of hunting for some jobs. I got to apply to at least 5 jobs today. As soon as I get done doing that, well, let me see something really quick. Do I have to? I'm trying to see if I can do something tomorrow. Expire after 9/4. Okay, so I have how many days? There's 31 days. Okay, so I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 6 days to do that. Okay. I have to do it on 9. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna do it tomorrow. And whoa. I'm sorry. You guys can't look at what I'm doing because I've got all this. It's a bunch of personal info, especially like with me applying for jobs and stuff like that. So I have some time to file my unemployment claims. So instead of spending the time doing that today, I'll just do that first thing tomorrow, but I'm going to go ahead and apply to 5 jobs and get this knocked out. And then that shouldn't take me very long. It should take me, I can't imagine it taking me 2 hours. It should take me like an hour, maybe 90 minutes at max. So as soon as I get done with that, then we'll kick it. We'll load up some WoW and relax. It's Friday. Been working hard on stuff. Ready to sit back and relax, but I got to do this job hunting stuff first. So here we go.
By the adventure and amazing groundbreaking visual effects. Are you old enough to remember a time when people used to say, You should see that movie. It has amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Digital Fluid. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, man, I'm doing okay. I've been trying to. I'm actually proud of. Been making some good content. Still hunting for jobs. This week I had a phone interview with a real live human being. It was like the first phone interview like human phone interview I had with somebody, and then a buddy of mine referred me to his company, and I need to check the email and see if they got back to me on that. So I'm hopefully waiting to hear back from them. Either one of those jobs will do. I'll take anything at this point. So yeah, but the job hunt continues, and then I just got two videos released for the Turtle WoW community. Hopefully those will get some views. I spent a lot of work on them, so hopefully new players will enjoy them. Got to get the message out there, I guess. Yeah, and then I got what am I gonna start working on? We got that. I think tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I think I was gonna relax because I spent all that time on those videos. But oh, hold on. Let me set that back. Let me set that. That's in September. Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Give me a sec. I need to make sure my card doesn't get charged. Okay, there it is. So there's a reminder there for me to cancel that. Okay, so I actually need to cancel it in 2 days. Okay, fine. There's just a ton of stuff to do. So let's see here. Monday. Oh, that's right. It's already here on the calendar. On Monday, I'm going to resume working on some generative AI stuff. I've got a Linux distro partition installed on this computer, and I'm looking forward to diving back into that and creating some new content. Like it's been fun doing the World of Warcraft stuff, but it's not. I feel like I'm not challenging myself enough doing it, though I am getting plenty of practice writing these scripts and all this kind of stuff, and I'm happy to make this kind of stuff. But I think doing the generative AI and starting to make some content around that will be more fulfilling, and it'll probably hopefully attract some people who are interested in that kind of stuff. So yeah, if I can figure out how to set up the generative AI stuff to do special effects for me, then I can make a bunch of I'll be a one-man production studio basically. So let me ban that person in chat. There's so many bots. The bots always show up and then they get banned. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I'll restart this. I'm basically gonna just kick it. I just got to apply for some jobs, and then we can relax.
Hello, it's me, Mr. Plinkett. You know, Star Wars has been around for nearly 50 years now, and I'm finally coming to the conclusion that I'm not quite sure what it is anymore, or if I even care. It's a weird, ubiquitous cultural thing that has no borders, no exact shape, and no manners. It appears in all forms and products. It has invaded our holidays, our homes.
Hey, honey, you want to watch Star Wars with me?
Busy, Dad.
Our personal lives.
And I hear that you also had a bit of a Star Wars wedding.
We did have a Star Wars wedding.
Our bodies. And our collective mental health.
I'm excited for Star Wars!
Is anyone old enough to remember when just nerds were into Star Wars? Like, I don't. It's amazing how popular Star Wars has become. It was not always so.
I can't seem to read the room anymore, and it's fueled by endless greed and desperate branding and rebranding.
I mean, no. Let me let me qualify that statement. The Star Wars movies were really popular. There were, but I don't know. I guess it's just on a whole nother level. Because I'm thinking about it, and there's movies like Spaceballs, and there's been a lot of like referential stuff to Star Wars. So I guess in a way, it always has been popular, but it seems like it seems like he's talking about here. There's just so much Star Wars stuff everywhere now. It's different. It's like too much of a good thing, I guess. I don't know.
It is the ever-changing face of evil.
Look what you have made.
And when a thing is everywhere and omnipresent, it has the danger of also being nothing at the same time. Star Wars used to be simple and fun. It was about Luke, Han, and Leia having adventures fighting the Empire. Alongside them was a cast of colorful and heroic, likable characters, as well as great and memorable villains, too. Watching the films, we laughed, we cried, and we were enthralled by the adventure and amazing, groundbreaking visual effects. Are you old enough to remember a time when people used to say, "You should see that movie, it has amazing special effects"? Now amazing special effects are a prerequisite. Now people complain that the CGI looked bad. Or they say Sonic the Hedgehog's eyes aren't exactly the way I want them to be, so redo it. Boy, oh boy, things have really changed in the last 50 years. Heck, things have changed in the last 10 years. So let's get into it. Number 1. What is a Star Wars? Or rather, what is this video about? I figured it was about time to revisit the Star Wars for a bit since so much has happened, and especially after two critical and important turning points, The Acolyte and Andor. Now I've been watching some of this crap here and there, but with new shows coming out and announcements of new trilogies and things starting and unstarting and being cancelled and maybe more Obi-Wan shows, Darth Maul dancing videos, Yoda shows, Baby Yoda movies, Grimace shows. Wait, was he a Star Wars Muppet? Or was that the other guy that was a member of Ronald McDonald's Pleasure Palace Band? Oh, whatever, fuck it. Lego movies, Baby Jedi adventures, kids in Star Wars exposed to extreme violence, and these fan-made AI videos, which I can't even tell if it's real anymore or not. I'm sorry, but is anyone gonna start suing someone yet?
May the Force be with you, always.
I just can't keep up or really even care that much anymore. But I think the breaking point for me was really Andor, and how much it illustrated that Star Wars is really just a very large, expensive ship that's
oversaturated. I think that's the term that I'm looking for. We're way too oversaturated with Star Wars stuff these days. Less is more now. They've just put so much out there that it's all gotten lost in the signal.
It's adrift without a captain. It's all very fascinating to me, so I'm gonna ramble on about it while my pizza rolls are in the oven. You know, you gotta cook them just right. Right until the goo starts to come out. If anyone wants a pizza roll, send me a message on X, formerly Twitter, or post on my Insta. DM me on Facebook, hit me up on Snapchat, or communicate with me through Telegram, WhatsApp, WeChat, Discord, Threads, Mastodon, Twitch, or Blue Sky. Okay, so let's start at the beginning, I guess. From a certain point of view.
A certain point of view?
Number 2, the prequel era.
Your move.
The mindset now with this new generation of young people, I guess in their 20s and 30s, that grew up with the prequels is that the movies were somehow misunderstood or being reevaluated.
Because motherfuckers were in theaters witnessing this peak-ass fight. Like, literally the coolest lightsaber combat we have ever gotten at that point in
As
time.
much as we love the original trilogy lightsaber fights, the duels in the prequels were much better.
They're more action-packed, better choreographed, and all around better.
In my first video about the parallels between C-3PO and Anakin, I discussed how Anakin suffers from something called an O-Eddie-Pus complex.
Or maybe not as bad as we all thought.
Jango Fett, believe it or not, is better than Boba Fett. While Boba may have been the original, Jango is a better fighter.
Nope, still bad.
You overdid it.
Anywho, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. This generation, millennials or Zoomers or whatever the fuck they're called now, have an entirely different perspective than an old-timer like me. You see, for us elderlies, when the prequels came out, there was only the original trilogy to compare them to. Sure, there were some things in between, like that Ewok adventure movie, whatever, novels, comic books, video games, etc. But most normal people didn't waste their time with that shit. Back in the 80s and 90s, nerds weren't cool. And if you were caught reading a Star Wars book in high school, you got your ass beat. To say these films were awkward, badly written, and disappointing is an understatement. Did they do well financially? Yes, of course they did. It was a giant spectacle. Everyone was very excited. Until they weren't. But the films had enough action and visually neat things happening on the screen to satiate audiences. The embarrassing, awkward, lame, strange, annoying, and unfunny outweighed anything cool or well done. I think most rational people can agree with that. We all know at the time that something was wrong, but couldn't quite say what. George had grand ideas about telling a very different type of Star Wars trilogy story, which is admirable, but I think he lacked the skills in the writing department to handle such material, as well as being able to resist his worst impulses. Plus, he hated directing actors.
George doesn't like directing. Period. He told me that.
So why did he direct all 3 films? Why did he write all 3 films? Oh well, whatever. It's too late now. In light of recent developments, it seems to me George wanted to write something like Andor, but probably wasn't able to.
And at the same time, it's how do democracies turn back into dictatorships? Why do people who have the power to have the freedom and everything turn it over to somebody who's going to take it all away from them?
Which is actually good, because Andor wouldn't work as a 3-film Star Wars trilogy meant for all audiences. It would not work. At all. The original trilogy balanced the more serious elements of the bad guy's plans and actions with levity and things kids can enjoy without going too far in either direction. So what is the secret ingredient that makes Star Wars truly work? Is it taking the subject matter really, really seriously? Is it purely fan service?
I keep doing that. I'm so sorry, man. Hey, I was trying to say, hey, Rocco or Reiko. I don't want to say your name wrong, so forgive me. However I'm supposed to say your name. And then I was saying, thank you for being subscribed since 2011. It's super nice to hear from people that have known me from that long. And then I was curious. Did you just catch me because I was live? Did you see some of the new content that I've been putting out recently? Or I got some plans to put out some more I've been leveling a priest on a private server, and as soon as I get him geared, I'm gonna make like an old school WoW PvP video. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then let's see what else. Next week I start working on some generative AI stuff. And in between all that, I'm just job hunting. So I appreciate you hopping in and saying hi. I'm just curious if you've seen any new stuff. Oh, I finally released that Skyrim music video. I know I talked about doing that for freaking ever, and I finally got around to doing it. It's on the channel if you go check it out. And right now I'm actually filing for jobs. I got to apply. I got laid off a couple months ago, 3 months ago. No, 3 months ago now. Jeez, man, I can't believe it's been that long. This is the longest I've ever gone without a job since I was like 15. I'm going crazy, and that's why I'm applying to 5 jobs a day. It's actually every other day, because some of the places that I go to apply for jobs, they don't get enough stuff for me to meet that goal. Oh yeah, I might. I started going bald, and I decided that I wasn't gonna get hair plugs or anything like that. So I grew the beard out, and I'm a gray beard now, and I shaved the head. So. Ooh. Maybe I guess that's why I haven't updated the profile picture on YouTube, because it's still me clean shaven with hair and my aviators on. Okay. So yeah, right now I'm applying for some jobs, and we're checking out some I really like these guys. They're called Red Letter Media, and they've been around forever. They've been putting stuff out since. I wonder when they're. Let's see here. When did Red Letter Media's Star Wars review? Star Wars episode 1, 2, and 3 review come out originally. How long these guys been doing this? 2009. Yeah, so these guys were releasing review videos before anybody else, and they were doing it back in 2009. They've been great. Yeah, and then check out the let's see here. There's a couple of things. So I'm starting to get back into creating content again. If you want to laugh, there's a bunch of really great shorts, and those are all of me basically leveling my priest on the private server. And then let's see here, where is it? Let's see here, videos. There it is, right there. Let's copy the link for that. And then this is the Skyrim video. I finally got the Skyrim video released. And then, yeah, I'm basically trying to get the priest geared up so I can make some more old school WoW PvP videos. That's basically the plan. All right. Okay. So I'm oscillating in between applying for jobs, chatting to you, and watching this basically.
And action-oriented stuff, aka Star Wars porn, a lighthearted approach, taking new and weird risks.
If you give me, we'll start playing. I'm gonna load up WoW again in about as quickly as I can get these jobs applied to. I'm applying to the first job right now. So in about another 30 to 60 minutes, we'll start kicking it, and I'll be playing World of Warcraft and just hanging out. We're just watching this video while I try to I got to get that done today.
I don't know. Let's discuss further. But first, let's eat.
Hi Harry, it's George Lucas, creator of the Star Wars saga. Listen, I heard you're talking about Star Wars again. You know, just Misa getting, kind of pissed off. Misa kind of irritated. I warned you about this. I told you.
You can tell that they got AI to enhance the voice. I know one of them does. The guy's name is Rich Evans. He does a really good impression of George, but so it's definitely Rich Evans saying these lines in his George Lucas impression, but then they ran AI over it, so it sounds almost exactly like George Lucas.
Keep.
Oh, cool. Yeah, man. Let me. I'll keep this playing, and then as soon as I can get done with these jobs, we'll hang out.
Star Wars out of your filthy mouth, but you didn't listen. So I'm gonna give you just one more chance here to just take the video down and just don't move forward with this project, or else I'll be forced to do a force chokehold on you or something. No, but seriously, I will take you for everything you've got, which I know is probably meager at best, but I just I'll do it. I'll do it. This is me worked up. You hear how angry I'm getting, Harry? You hear my...
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Number 3, the Disney takeover and the sequel trilogy.
It'll give me a chance to go off and explore my own interests, at the same time feel completely confident that Disney will take good care of the franchise I've built. And
don't worry, kids. I'm not done talking about the prequels, but this next part is important. While maintaining control of the Star Wars brand for nearly 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, and only making a few Clone Wars products, George Lucas decided to sell it to Disney of all places. It's ironic, isn't it?
I think it's crazy. The first thing Disney did was throw out the extended universe. It's just crazy. That's the first thing they did.
Lucas was a man who was always the maverick. He hated the studio system and always fought against it.
George was the kind of maverick from Northern California, an independent filmmaker.
Shut up. No one asked
you. He was
you.
always extremely proud that he had very few attachments to Hollywood.
the worst thing that happens when they think they know how to do it, then they start making decisions. The first place I thought was Disney.
In the end, though, he became more machine than man. More ATM machine.
For me, I look at it as I'm investing in Disney because that's my retirement fund.
And sold his baby to the Disney conglomerate for buckets of cash.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and
But I digress.
All right, should we rehearse one more time?
To me, it's shocking that such an important new saga in the hands of a large company would wing it, so to speak. And therein was the problem. When I first talked about The Phantom Menace, it was only 10 years after it was released. The big movie out at the time happened to be Star Trek 2009 by J.J. Abrams and friends. Now, this was not a great Star Trek film, but it was a fun space adventure filled with action, emotion, and excitement.
All she's got isn't good enough!
To me, it felt more like a Star Wars movie and less like a Star Trek movie.
Take over. Ben, tell him
Now, JJ did a fine job directing The Force Awakens, but the script was essentially a rehash, a reboot, retelling, reimagining, restart, whatever you want to call it. Even James Cameron knew it.
I don't want to say too much about the film.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I also have a lot of respect for J.J. Abrams, and I want to see where they're taking it
Mhm.
next. See what they're doing with it.
I'm all the Jedi.
From the perspective of a company that just paid a fortune for this brand name, they needed a movie that had all the elements that made Star Wars successful before.
They looked at the stories and they said, we want to make something for the fans.
You don't kick everything off with a dark and weirdly off-putting movie that will frighten children.
What's happened?
Or something that's too specific. You have a gender-swapped Luke, a cute droid, bad guys that are different, but familiar. And throw in some nostalgia, too.
Is there a big, giant, planet-sized weapon in Force Awakens? Yes. And does it blow up? It does blow up. And so there are undeniable, parallels. I very purposely wanted to sort of revisit the old in order to start and tell the new. And that was the challenge. And again, for those who hate it, I could not respect your opinion more. And for those who love it, I question your sanity.
The film was fun and acceptable, but we were really excited to see where they went next. The problem was they didn't know where they were going next. Anyone with half a brain would have known they needed to plan out the story for the sequel trilogy ahead of time, given the stakes. But nope. They rushed that film out so fast it was like launching a roller coaster. But the rest of the track wasn't done being built. Then Kathleen Kennedy said she had a 5-minute meeting in a tiny broom closet with Ryan Subvert Your Expectations Johnson. And when they came out of the meeting, she said, "He's our guy for the next film." Now, I don't want to be cynical. That's not my thing. But I have a feeling that in addition to saying all the platitudes like he loves Star Wars, it changed his life, and he's loved it ever since he was a baby and all that crap, he probably also told her that we can't have these elderly whites be the heroes again.
He was coming from a place of a filmmaker in 1977, and we're filmmakers in 2019, and a lot has changed in the world.
The generation of people that watched Luke, Han, and Leia are aging out. We gotta get to the kids. If you want your Star Wars to thrive, you've gotta skew younger. Have diverse characters. Have a glaringly obvious lesbian who tells the hotshot alpha male that he's an idiot. Hint at a gay or straight romance to come. But no sex. Sex makes Zoomers cringe. No creepy macho white cishet alpha male stuff either. Oh, and add an Asian gal too. Haven't had one in the Star Wars yet. And no kissing. Kissing is sus and can only be done with permission or it's SA and problematic. Sex? Absolutely not. What were you thinking, bro? Also, kill your main bad guy to shock the audiences and ensure you've fucked yourself, story-wise. Don't forget to add social commentary on the wealth gap, too. People love that, especially kids. Kids love seeing a universe where they could potentially be slaves. Now, The Last Jedi left them in a position where they didn't have their big bad Snoke anymore. So what do we do now? I don't know. Oh God, what do we do? Get JJ back. We'll only do it if he could write it? Sure, have him write it too. Slap together something with the Emperor. We haven't used him yet.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
But the Emperor died. Who cares? Just finish it. Pocket Dimension with 10 million Star Destroyers? Sure. Palpatine clones in jars? Why not?
Hey, Noob Fever. I'm just applying to a couple more jobs, and then we're going to load up World of Warcraft. Until then, we're watching Red Letter Media. What happened to Star Wars? All right, so I'm applying to the second job right now, and I gotta apply to 3 more, and then we'll move on. Yeah, I appreciate you watching the multiple streams there, Noob Fever. Thank you.
Wait. We've never had a black female character in Star Wars. We forgot about that demographic. Hurry, shove one in there.
We don't have the time.
Or the choice.
Now what do we do with all these goddamn characters we shoved in these movies? Have them ride horses in space. What about Rose and the romance between her and Finn? Or a romance between Finn and Poe?
We're gonna do this. Yeah?
Also no sex. Sex makes Zoomers cringe. Wait, did Rey and Kylo Ren have sex? Oh no, they fell in love and they kissed. That's not gonna age well. Oh wait, he died. Who cares? But Anakin and Padme kissed on the lips. And maybe went further because they made babies. Ew, ultra sus and cringe. This isn't gonna age well either. Does Finn want to bone the horse girl? Who cares? Let's just finish this shit so we could start making shows. Hurry up before the pandemic starts.
What now?
Now, I've said all this crap before in one way or the other, so what's my point? I'm bringing this back to the prequels. The recent rethinking of the Star Wars prequels doesn't really come from a place of discovering that they were really great and misunderstood films. I mean, sure, you can explain away anything, really, as having a secret meaning or intention. Like a...
Oh, I'm applying for project manager, operations manager, program manager, anything like that. I'm really good at working with the team to make sure everything comes together. I'm actually really technical, so typically engineers really like working with me because there's a bunch of project managers out there that aren't technical. So I'd say that's like an edge that I have. And I'm also really good at speaking everybody's language. So the compliance department talks one way, and there's different departments. They might use the same word, or the same term, but it means something completely different in their parlance. So I can speak engineers to engineering. I can speak customer support to the customer support folks. I can speak compliance to the compliance. I can speak executive to the C-suite. And I'm really good at translating all of that back and forth. And so everybody, it's more of like a really strong I have a really strong communication skill set. And a willingness to learn. So, and then because I'm technical, I can typically dig down into what the problem is enough to make sure that I know which two subject matter experts I need to get together so we can figure it out and overcome that challenge. So yeah, right now I just applied to IT project manager, and then I just applied to a project manager role, and now I'm still looking at the project manager jobs that have been posted, and if I run out of those, I'm going to look for operations manager.
Horoscope, or the quatrains of Nostradamus. You can interpret that in any way you want. The act of going back to the prequels and saying that they were really good is partially nostalgia from those who were children at the time.
I don't understand.
But it's also a rejection of the modern Disney era and the corpo think of it all. With the prequels, George Lucas was in charge. He was the visionary of those films, and despite all their flaws and cracks and the terrible decisions he made, those movies were his. And this younger generation might be skewing back towards pure art that's flawed, rather than shiny but soulless corporate products. Now, many years out from the conclusion of the sequel franchise, I can honestly say I can't recall much from those films. Maybe BB-88, the soccer ball. I remember Ray made some kind of weird gray bread, and then she lived in an old AT-AT walker. There was a cartoon creature with butthole eyes, and someone rode a horse through a casino planet. I certainly remember Zombie Palpatine, but this I don't remember. Or this? Or this?
It was all for nothing. All we've done, all this time.
But the visuals and characters from the prequels are distinct and actually memorable. Got Darth Maul, Gungans, battle droids, Dexter Jetster, Palpy being Palpy, long neck guy, arena monsters with cartoon /cat, Jedi Council room, salamander dreadlock guy, clone making aliens from the water planet, gooberfish, Obi-Wan floats, Bingo Fett, Obi-Wan silly spaceship, Count Dooku, Mace Windu cuts off Boba Fett's head, and of course, Jar Jar Binks. Movies and franchises today are less and less run by a singular weird and embarrassing man, more run by committees.
We couldn't be more thrilled to present the exciting new series, Willow.
And teams of market research people, focus groups, and pollsters that all meet up at a fascist political rally to pump up their base.
I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Doesn't that feel so good?
Would Disney put a third-rate CGI Count Chocula in a film? Probably not. So what the prequel revisionists are saying is that if you squint really hard, you could see what George was going for, which was odd and different, and attempting to say something about good and evil in a new way. Evil in the original trilogy was black and white. In the prequels, it was something that was creeping and hidden. While this is a good idea in theory, it was still not well achieved in my opinion. The attempt is more admirable than recycled shiny corpo slop. Number 4, Star Wars continues, and continues, and continues.
Luke Skywalker has jumped from the entertainment page to the front page of North America's newspapers. You can't escape from Star Wars mania.
Star Wars has morphed from a worldwide cultural phenomenon to a business model for a streaming platform.
What happens when there's something new? People have a tendency to overdo it. They abuse it.
But I hear you say, movies have always been a business. Yes, that's true. Movies need to make money to be made in the first place. But I think if you asked every person on Earth in the 1970s and 80s, they probably would have heard of Star Wars. Ask anyone to name Darth Vader and they probably could. Even precious starving African children. There was a movie and subsequent trilogy of movies and characters the world embraced and shared together. Like the Beatles, or Elvis, or polio. In more recent times, especially since the pandemic, most of Star Wars is on the Disney Plus streaming app, which are primarily only series now, just to keep you subscribed. And if you have the Disney Plus app, you can watch all the Star Wars you want, movies and shows. Pre-pandemic, Disney did some shows, but mainly alternated between spin-off movies with the sequel trilogy entries. There was Star Wars The Force Awakens, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Solo, a Star Wars story, Star Wars Resistance, Mandalorian, Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Then post-pandemic, it's been nothing but shows, exclusive to Disney Plus. The Book of Boba Fett, Star Wars The Bad Batch, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, Ashka, Star Wars Tales of the Empire, The Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. Now, a dear colleague of mine once suggested that the Star Wars brand should make exclusive movies for smaller private audiences and charge way more than a normal movie ticket.
And then to see the film, we charge each person between $150 and $200.
What?
And essentially that kind of became true. That's what Disney Plus basically is. I'll let that same colleague of mine explain further.
Hello, it's me, Scientist Man. As of this recording, there are 126 million worldwide subscribers to Disney Plus. That makes up about 1.57% of the world's population. Here are the numbers broken down.
Says, I don't know how it is in the U.S., but in Europe, there's a big shortage of specialists in this profession. I'm sure you'll succeed. But if they refuse to hire a legend, Europe is waiting for you. Hey, that's great, man. Is there? I mean, I'm not tied anywhere. I'll move anywhere, man. I'm single. Like, you know, I don't even have any pets, so it would be super easy for me to move to another country or something like that. I don't speak any other languages though. So it would have to be, I guess I could start learning. Yeah, I'd be happy to work anywhere around the world, man. It's just rough right now because like AI has, automated a lot of things. In fact, I lost my job. Well, I wouldn't say lost my job. I basically implemented AI at my old job, and I did such a good job that they didn't need me anymore. They actually once I got implemented, they ended up laying off like 80% of the support staff, and then they kept me around for a couple of months. And once I worked out all the little details and documented how it worked, they laid me off. So yeah, man, I'd be happy and I'd be honored to work at a job in the EU. I think that would be a wonderful experience. So I'm open to it. If you folks like, if you know anybody who I should reach out to, let me know. I could get you to send me their LinkedIn profile or something like that. Like, let me know the company website or their LinkedIn profile or anything like that, and I will reach out to them. Never do something that threats your position in a company. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the thing is, like I like solving problems, and at that company I was solving a lot of problems, And then I should have seen the writing on the wall, because they stopped giving me new problems to solve. So I did such a good job that they didn't need me anymore. So, and you know what? I wouldn't mind doing the same thing again at another place. Like a bunch of the stuff that I automated, there was no reason somebody needed to deal with the things that I automated anyway. There really wasn't. I just wish they'd have kept giving me new problems to solve.
Down by country.
Where?
Does this count towards my court-ordered community service?
Yes. India, 52 million. United States, 42 million. Brazil, 8 million. The United Kingdom, 7.5 million. Mexico, 6 million. Indonesia, 6 million. Germany, 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to sign up for that. I created a whatchamacallit, like a Fiverr page, and then what's the name of the other thing? It's like Clockwork or something like that. And I have my services up there, like offering to, if there's any company out there that wants to hire me to do that kind of stuff, like I'm down. Just nobody's reached out to me. I don't know how to I don't know if I'm just not marketing myself correctly, or I don't know. I would definitely, like, at this point I'll work damn near anything. I'd just be happy to have a job. I'd be grateful to have a job. I'm getting so tired of not working. I'm trying to keep myself busy, making videos and things like that. So I guess that's the silver lining, because I got laid off and I wasn't working 10, 12-hour days anymore. It's like, all right, well, I got to stay busy. So I'm making YouTube content and live streams and stuff.
5 million. Who cares? Now, are people in India really digging on the multiverses of Marvel, watching Inside Out, Star Wars, or perhaps other Disney products? Sure, maybe some of them are, but the high subscriber rate is due to the fact that in India, Disney has paired up with Hotstar, and that's the only way they can watch cricket.
Now into the final of the World Cup 2023.
It's kind of like Disney pairing up with ESPN here in the US. It's all business, you see. Smoke and mirrors, bundled subscriptions and lies. The US does come in second with 42 million subscribers, but out of that number, how many of those subscribers are just soccer moms looking to put on Disney Plus for their kids to watch while they do laundry and dishes?
I only have Disney Plus because I signed up 2 years ago and forgot my password.
I wish somebody would wash my dishes.
Now, if you break that 126 million figure down even further by what percentage of people are watching what on Disney Plus, according to my research and calculations, about 20%, now let's be kind, 40% of all Disney Plus users subscribe to the service just to watch Star Wars products.
I like Star Wars.
Me too!
Shut up. So now, if you calculate that out of the 126 million worldwide...
Okay, I got one more job to apply to, so I'm looking for it right now. Then we'll do some World of Warcraft.
By Disney Plus subscribers, only 50.4 million of them are watching Star Wars products exclusively. That makes the global population of Star Wars watchers on the Disney Plus streaming app 0.63%. That's less than 1%. So Star Wars really has become a private product meant for the world's elite rich 1%, bitch.
So I guess my point is a whole chunk of the global population can't afford a Disney Plus monthly streaming service. But even poor people can see a movie every now and then. Even starving African children. Movies were escapism even during the Great Depression. In the olden days, TV shows were free, as long as you had a TV that was in range of a broadcast signal, and you could go see a movie of your choice for a nickel. Now things are different, very different, and essentially Disney has done just what I suggested. make premier content for the world's elite population, just like their theme parks.
Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is the first of its kind experience in the world. It's an immersive adventure. It is part interactive game. It is part live action role play. It's part
people have a tendency to overdo it.
Things kind of rolled into one in a package that hopefully presents to you a seamless, organic Star Wars adventure. We want you to really feel like you're a character in Star Wars and really having a meaningful impact on what happens.
Now, obviously, out of all this content, there's way too much to get into. People either love it or hate it.
What was the point of that scene?
And boy, oh boy, do they sure love to talk about it.
I think it's the best. And like that game, it's happened.
Mandalorian, deep fake Luke, Baby Yoda, or Baby Grok, or whatever it's called. The lame, slow, fat Boba Fett, Obi-Wan's fish market, Coyote Mundi's birthday party, Darth Vader grabbing a spaceship when he didn't grab a spaceship before, Leia's lame chase scene from Flea. I don't know what Asuka was, but some kind of alien. But in any case, Disney continues to throw spaghetti at the wall with all these shows and movies and planning of them and announcing them. You see, announcements help to gather interest ahead of time.
ここ日本なので、日本の雰囲気のあるお祭り感覚で一緒に写真が撮れる、そういう空間を明日は作るので、ぜひカメラを持って。
When Patty Jenkins was hot off her Wonder Woman movie, they announced she was going to direct something called Rogue Squadron. Remember that? I guess she was going to do it because her father was a fighter pilot? Some of this shit could be rumor or speculation, or even just stuff that was on the table but eventually scrapped.
I would imagine a lot of people have been waiting to hear, what are we doing with Star Wars movies?
Let's take a look. Remember all of this? Colin Trevorrow was to direct Episode 9, and it was going to be called Duel of the Fates. Guillermo del Toro, Jabba the Hutt movie.
We had the rise and fall of Jabba the Hutt, so I was super happy.
What happened? Guillermo and Star Wars and you seems like a no-brainer to greenlight. What happened?
There was just a lot of going on at Lucasfilm at the time.
Cancel Game of Thrones guys' Star Wars trilogy. Cancel Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy. Failed Rangers of the New Republic. Scrapped. Kevin Feige produced Star Wars movie rumor.
What's up with the Star Wars movie? Is it happening? I know that's like... Is it happening?
Any Star Wars movie?
Yours.
No. Damon Lindelof's elderly Rey Skywalker movie. Not happening. A different Rey Skywalker movie.
I'm very thrilled to be continuing this journey.
Postponed indefinitely. But to me, out of the stuff that actually got made, the most interesting of the new Star Wars, from a critical and cultural point of view, is certainly Andor and The Acolyte. And since you're watching this video, it means you're probably in the literal 1%er bubble with me. Let's talk about them. Now, these two shows made waves, but for very different reasons. Let's get into it. First up, The Acolyte.
Yes.
Hi Harry, it's George Lucas, creator of the Star Wars saga, calling you again. Listen, man, you gotta do me a solid here. I mean, you're comparing Star Wars, my saga. You're comparing that to the Acolyte, Bantha Poodoo, this space witch claptrap bullshit. I mean, are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding. You're killing me. You're just killing me. All right, listen. All right, you win. You know what I mean? You got the higher ground. Okay. All right. You made your point. Just please, you gotta stop this whole project. It's just I can't. I have nothing to do with this. Disney, a bunch of white slavers. They totally shut me out. I had some great ideas for the new Star Wars pictures, and they didn't want anything to do with that. And this is what they came up with? Are you serious? This forbidden love with some couple of annoying twin girls who know how to do the Force, and there's some Asian Jedi. You think you can't understand what Jar Jar's saying. I couldn't understand a word that guy was saying. I know he's a great.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Number 5. Gen Alpha is rethinking the Acolyte. It's true! Wait, is it? Those articles are already in the works, set to be written a few years from now. Trust me. But yeah, did we all rush to judge the Acolyte too quickly? When the Acolyte came out, the microphone bros were quick to get mad about it.
The power of many. The witches. So many people left after that episode.
Witches are now making children without men.
Baseline, fundamental storytelling elements.
It doesn't say anything. Usually it would say born right here. Doesn't say anything about born on Wikipedia. They're trying very hard to cover for this.
Most of it's just regurgitating exposition.
It's not as bad as Book of Boba Fett yet, but it's well on its way. It's on its way.
How dare this lesbian make a Star War?
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
How dare no one invite them to Coyote Mundi's birthday party?
But the biggest point is that this motherfucker should not be alive. This show takes place over 130 years BBY, before the Battle of Yavin. The problem is, Ki-Adi-Mundi shouldn't have been born for another 40 years.
A fat Jedi? Soy boy Jedi? Black chick never changed her hairstyle since she was 8. Oh great, now there are 2 of them? But the truth is, the Acolyte is actually the closest thing to the prequels since, well, the prequels. Generally speaking, I think people aren't really sure what they want from Star Wars. Something new and different, or more of the same. More of the same can be comforting, and new and different can be challenging at first, but once settled into, can become a comfort. Now, remember when I read that list of shows and movies that came out since Disney took over? We had a seemingly endless slew of rehashed stuff and characters and things we knew and recognized in the form of Boba Fett's and Luke's, and Stormtroopers and AT-ATs and Darth Vaders, X-Wings, Death Stars, and Star Wars porn, IG-88s and Obi-Wans fighting Vaders again. Was some of it pretty good? Sure. Was a lot of it kind of meh? Yeah. Then came along the Acolyte. Set in the year negative 10,000 BBY or whatever, 100 years before the prequels. First of all, thank goodness. We probably won't run into too many things we know and recognize, except for a little cameo by Yoda and Kool-Aid Mundi. But the harsh response to the Acolyte came in part by the idea that the show had somehow made Star Wars woke, but also that the idea the Jedi could somehow be corrupted or be capable of maintaining a conspiracy was blasphemy. I mean, I don't know. Setting aside the canon from the novels and games and whatnot, what did we really know about the Jedi from the original trilogy and the prequels?
They want me to spy on the Chancellor. This assignment is not to be on record.
Obi-Wan told us that the Jedi were the guardians of truth and justice and the American way.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic.
We learned in the prequels that the Jedi are a bunch of weird people that have purged emotions in order to run around and meddle in other people's affairs. Sort of outdated part of the Republic. They took kids away from their parents and raised them in what looked to me like a weird religious cult. All of this, by the way, literally came from Yoda casually tossing out that Luke was, quote, too old to begin the training. That was because he just didn't feel like training him because he was so old and just wanted to die. But for me, after thinking about the events in the Acolyte and how Sol accidentally killed Osha's ghost bomb.
Okay, all right, I'm done applying for the jobs. Let me see, let's catch up here. Right, it's 1 a.m. Need to get some sleep. I'll keep the stream up and have a great day next. Some people in chat. Thanks for hanging out, New Fever. I'll see you soon. I'm sad that I spent most of the time applying for jobs while I was doing it. Anyway, it helps me focus. Would you say Turtle WoW is worth playing? Yes, I would definitely say Turtle WoW is worth playing. I actually just got done. I probably spent here. Let me pull it over here. Can you guys see this? Hold on. Let me close something because let me close something really quick. We're done with the current thing. Get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, I just spent. I probably spent about 45 to 50 hours making each one of these videos, and I made it because I wanted people to have a smoother time getting into Turtle WoW than I did, because there were a lot of different things that you kind of like. I made these 2 videos wishing that I took the approach of like, what would I want somebody to tell me if I was going to start playing Turtle WoW, and I put them both here in these 2 videos. Oh, you just watched both? Yeah, no, I recommend it. In fact, hold on a second. Let me see something. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. It really does keep that, old school vanilla magic to it. The other thing is I got some long-term friends like Vor and here, let me sign in. Vor and Zek are like some of my long-term friends, so it's great playing with them on the server. And I just honestly can't wait till I can get better gear, and I can start making a PvP video. So here, let me sign in on my priest really quick. And I'll do a /played. Come on, computer. There we go. Okay, here. So let me do /played. Yeah, so what is that noise? Hold on just a second. Hey, this is Justin.
Hi, this is virtual recruiter Aiden.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was talking to another AI voice agent, but I go ahead and give those things the information that that they ask for because I know how those systems work. They're basically populating additional information, and then that information is going to pop up in front of the hiring manager or the recruiter in their system, and then I might actually get a call back. So I'm pretty. I don't like talking to those things, but when they pop up, I give them all the information, and they always ask the most basic bitch stuff. It's like if you look up it's like if the HR lady Googled what are the top 10 questions I should ask a project manager in his first interview, and that's what they are. So like I've got them all down pat. I can answer those pretty quickly. It's actually talking to those damn things. Good cuck. That's fine. Hey, Silver, thanks. Okay. All right. So we're done. Here, let's do this. All right. Now that we're done with the phone interview crap. See, I'll tell you one thing that you'd never have. I would, that's what the AI does. The AI makes a recruiting phone call at 6:05 p.m. on a Friday. You never get a fucking call from a recruiter at 6:05 p.m. on a fucking Friday. That's how I knew it was an automated system. So, all right, tell you what. Let me jump up and get something to drink. Because I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, and I need to go I need to take a break. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, here's what I'd like to do. Here, let's move that over there. Here, what I'm gonna do really quick is I'm gonna restart the live stream, because if I restart it really quick, then this will be the work study live stream, and then I'm going to change things so it'll just be a World of Warcraft / gaming live stream. And if I don't do this, then it's harder for people to watch the gaming live stream. They would have to sort through this. So by stopping the live stream really quick and then restarting it, it makes things show up better in YouTube, basically. So I'll have this thing restarted in the next 2 or 3 minutes. It shouldn't be any longer than 5 minutes. So I'm just going to end the stream. I'll end these streams really quick. I'm going to retitle them to be gaming, World of Warcraft, hanging out live streams, and then we're just going to sit back and do a bunch of gaming for the next 4, 9, 10, 4, 5, like we'll be gaming for like 6, 7 hours or something like that. Okay, so here I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to end all these streams, and then I'll restart them. Oh wait, that's because I should end them over here.